Hey guys, it's Lisa with Are You My Cousin? If you are watching this on the YouTube channel, I want to welcome you to the Are You My Cousin YouTube channel. I also want to let you know that what you're about to watch is actually a replay of a Facebook Live done on June 13th, 2019, in which I am discussing how to use wildcard searches in your genealogy research. Enjoy, guys. Bye. Hey guys, it's Lisa with Are You My Cousin? It's Thursday, so it's time for another one of our weekly Facebook Lives. I am sorry I missed last week's. I was out traveling and wasn't able to hop on the computer. I was actually en route, so I wasn't able to actually get on here with you guys and chat with you guys. So I want to welcome you. If this is your first time to one of my Facebook Lives, I'm so excited that you decided were able to join us. Even if you come back week after week, I really appreciate your support in that as well. So welcome to everyone. If you have a question as we go through our time together, feel free to leave a comment. You can give a thumbs up if you want to, and just kind of give me and as you're coming into this, if you don't mind just giving me a thumbs up or a hello, just to let me know that everything is playing well and that you can hear me and see everything okay. So I will follow the comments, I will follow the questions as we go and try to get those answered before we end our time together today. So I am really excited to talk about this week's topic. We're going to be talking about using wildcard searches. And I don't know if that's something if you've used before, if you're familiar with what a wildcard search is, but it's an interesting, it's a great little kind of technique for when you're stuck knowing you need to search for your ancestor, but maybe you don't really know how to spell his name, or her name, I should say. Or maybe the thing is, you know how the name is currently spelled or the predominant spelling of the name, but it could undergo a lot of variations. I think we see this a lot when we research our ancestors, and we're not really sure sometimes how that record might have them listed, or how the name might have been spelled, or how it just may have been transcribed incorrectly. So I actually found this. I don't have what I consider really tough names to research as far as spellings are concerned oftentimes, but you'd be surprised. One of the most common names that I research and started with is the name Howard, Howard. It's a very easy name to spell, very common name for when I was researching. And you would be surprised that I found over 12 variations of that particular name based on how the family used the name, how they pronounced it, how they spelled it over the generations, and really just transcriptions that kind of went awry somewhere along the way. And so there were times when I actually missed finding my ancestors with what I considered a very easy name, simply because the family was using a different name at the time, a variation of it, and I wasn't seeing it in the search results. So, oh, hey, Faye, thank you so much for coming in. It's raining in Florida. Well, I think you've got our rain from yesterday because we've been raining for a week. We're finally drying out here in North Carolina. Hey, Dana, so glad you could join us as well. So thank you for coming in, guys. So when you are back to our name searches. So when you're having trouble and you're not really sure in that search record how the name might have been spelled or what they might be using, I would actually recommend using a wildcard search. And this is basically allows you to substitute a couple different symbols, the asterisk or the question mark, into your search term that kind of tells the search engines, hey, we'll take a variety of matches that you find here. We're not really sure what's going on, and the search engines will be able to return a variety of matches for you. Now, you're going to get a lot of broad results, guys, and it takes a lot of it can take some extra work, but I'm going to actually show you and screen share in a moment here and show you some ways to do that. Oh, Linda, hey, a Howard from the Maryland descendant. Okay, great. We should talk actually, Linda, at some point. I'm really not 100% sure Howard was the original name of my guys, but I think it was. And we're out of Virginia, so very well we could be. We're close over there. We might need to chat sometime. Okay, so wildcard searches. When you do a wildcard search, what I want you to think about is that you can do these on Google. You can do it on Ancestry.com. You can do it on Find My Past, My Heritage, all of those databases you can do this on. It's the same principle, but the biggest tip that I would give you before you search on any platform is to go into their tips section, their search tips section, and make sure they handle wildcard searches the same way that you're used to researching. You know, what are their tips for performing a wildcard search on their particular platform? It's just a good habit to do. It'll save you time so that you know that you're optimizing your search time, that you're using the best search options that they use for that platform. So regardless of what platform you're in, I encourage you to take a little time up front to learn how that platform works in their search terms, really their basic search term as well as their wildcard searches. And that way you'll just be more efficient as you go forward with that. So let's go ahead and hop on over to, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you through some of the wildcard searches, because I think that's kind of the easiest way to understand these things. Now, when I do this, guys, just so you know, I actually can't see the comments when I do this. I will switch back and answer any questions that you might have. So please, if you have a question, put it in the comments section. I am coming back to check those there for us. So let me hop on over. Okay, so this is actually one of the things I wanted to show you first. Let me pop out of this. I'm going to actually search on my ancestor. His name's James Harwood, or Howard. He typically was a Harwood when we did it. So H-A, this is how they usually spelled the name, or was typically known. Now, I found him under many, many variations. And in order to find him under all the records, I needed to do some wildcard searches. So here's something I could do. If you are unsure of just one letter, you could actually put in a question mark. So if I wasn't sure if this was, could be an A, or it could be an O, it could even be an E. I've seen that variation. And if I wasn't sure, I knew there was just one letter there, and I'm only unsure about one letter, just put a question mark. And that question mark tells the search engine you're only looking for one letter to replace it. So if I just used North Carolina, put his birth year in, and let's see what kind of results that we get with that. And as you can tell, guys, I'm in Ancestry.com. Again, you can do this in whichever. So we get a James Howard here. Looks like mostly they're pulling up Howards on this. Let's see if they'll pull up anything else. I get lots of different James Howards. All the way down. But I think you can kind of get the idea that this would be a variety of, okay, I picked an example that's been well researched, so therefore we have a lot of information on him. But if you wanted to find out that type of, if you just didn't know that one letter, you could do that. But what if you didn't know? I'm going to switch this out. So I'm going to actually use the asterisk. Now, when you use an asterisk, that can replace anywhere from 0 to multiple letters in your search term. So if I put in the asterisk, it's not just one letter that I'm telling Google I don't know about. I'm saying, look, I don't really know what this part of the word is. So I can put in an asterisk. Let's see if that gives us a little different result. I hope it's working. There we go. All right. Again, we're getting more Howards. All right. We're going to pop over and do somebody who hasn't been quite as researched for that. Let me pop over. There we go. This is actually a different search. I'm going to show you what I did with him. Now, the family I was actually looking for on this was, the last name was Andrasik, and it was spelled Andrasik. So I'm going to put that in here just so you can see how it was actually spelled. S-C-I-K. Oops. S-C-I-K. So that's how I knew it to be spelled. But as you can imagine, this could actually be misspelled or mistranscribed in a lot of ways in the records, and due to poor handwriting. So all I really was pretty confident about was the ANDRA. So I can put an asterisk in there and go, and that's telling the search engine, hey, I don't know the rest of this. I only know this first part of the name, but I'm really not sure what the end of it's going to look like because I'd seen so many variations. I knew that the family was in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. So I just went fairly broad and put in that asterisk and said, show me the possibilities. And again, I'm looking for possibilities and clues for what this could look like. Oh, great. My internet's just running a tad slow today. Okay, so when I do that, these are the results I get. So we have Andra, could be a surname. Here's an Andrasic. Andra shows Andrake shows up. More Andrasic, Andrasco. Again, these are all variations that Google is telling me I might want to look at, or Google, excuse me, Ancestry.com is telling me I might want to look at Andreas or Andres. Tracy, so you can get to see all these variations of what that name could be. And it gives me clues. So as a researcher, as I'm going through this, and I've kind of, I knew the name was probably somewhere around Andrasic. They're the first ones I'm going to look at. I'm going to look at these Andrasics. Now, my guess is, as I look through these, and when I did this the first time around, I looked at them going, we've got a junior, which tells me there's a senior somewhere, but junior is probably a little bit young to be probably who I was looking for, but is it the right family? And in this case, it turns out that they were. So I just wanted to pop over and show you this 1940 census record for this Andrasic family because it really showed, and I'm going to enlarge it for you guys so you can see it better. Now, here's the name Andrasic. Now, I think we can kind of understand how sometimes these names get misspelled greatly. And so if I had in a very specific name, I might have a harder time finding it. Or maybe I just didn't understand, was this S-E-I-K, or what that end of that could be. So I think we understand how easy it is for the spelling. We know spelling's fluid and that transcribers trying to read these have a tough job ahead of them. So it really helped. Using that wildcard search gave me enough of it, gave the search engine enough information that they were able to give me some results back. Now, if I really, truly didn't know what the end of that name could have been, these are all people that I would want to start looking through and checking out to see, could they potentially be who I was looking for? And as you see, this is a lot of results. So doing a wildcard search can be tedious at times. It can take more time, you get more results. So if you can narrow them down using a birth date, using a location, that's obviously going to help you and hopefully narrow your search down. But sometimes you just get a really broad search, and sometimes all we can do is really work through them one by one to see who's going to work, which one might be helpful to us and which one is definitely not our guy, and which one maybe they're our guy, maybe they're not, and start building clues, finding the clues that way. So that's one way to do it. I'm going to hop back over really quick to I want to check for any questions that we might have. Hang on one second, guys. So, okay, so you don't have any questions yet. No problem. If you have a question, again, go ahead and pop it into that comment section, and I will be happy to answer that. Now, I'm going to go back to my screen because I want to show you something else. We're going to look back at James Howard again. Here we go. Now, here's something you can do. Let's get really, I guess, fancy. What if you don't know a lot of the words, a lot of the vowels? Because vowels, sometimes they're transcribed and they, if an A is not closed up, it looks like an I and an E, and et cetera, et cetera. And to be honest, I saw when I was researching James Howard, I saw a lot of variation, not only in the first part of the name, but in those that second part of the name as well. So I decided to use 2 wildcard characters, and you can absolutely do this, guys. Don't be afraid to use 2 in there, or substitute. You could even do a question mark for one letter and then the asterisk for a few letters that you didn't know. So absolutely, you can mix these up and use that. So that don't be afraid to do that, because I realize it can be hard to find these names. Now, when you do this, sometimes it gives you such a broad range of names to go through. It can be almost overwhelming. Again, the more information you can give the search engine to look for, the better it's going to help narrow those down. So if I want to do 2 asterisks, kind of a double wildcard search, I guess we call it. Let me show you what comes up. Okay, yes, we are. Sorry, my internet. Somebody in my house must be using. I'm wondering if somebody's streaming in my house today. Okay, besides me. All right, so we end up with the Howard name. Oh, hang on. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, when I did this earlier, guys, I got a completely different results. That's really interesting. We get all those Howard results. Let me try it different, because I definitely want to see if I can force this issue for you. Let's try. Let's try this out. I'm going to see what happens if I take out that year. And see. I feel like we should have the Jeopardy theme song playing in the background for this. Okay, so this would give you a different thing. So here's what I'm saying. We get a Haywood. We would get, again, a Howard. Again, look at this Howard, I-E-W-A-R-T. Not my guy, based on the ages. Again, I didn't put the year in, so you can see I got more modern records. But H-O-D-W-A-R-D, these are some spellings I haven't even seen before. Lots of Howards, a Haygood, a Haywood, Hagwood, Hodwood. So absolutely, you can see that name. If I want to break it down further into the census records, let's take the census records. Oh, I think he was in the 1840 census. He died in 1840. But yeah, we have Harwood. That is actually our guy right there. But we have the Hogwood, the Haygoods showing up. Harwood. This was a very, very common name. In fact, this would probably be a collateral ancestor right there. Haywood, another ancestor. These are all collateral ancestors around the state. Howland. So you can start to see when you use that double, it broadened out my search terms with that. It broadened out all I had there. So that was a good way to go. It gave me actually, one of the things it did was it actually provided me with names and spellings that I hadn't thought of before. So when I was doing this research originally, I was able to add those to my list. I just keep a running list of all the spelling variations on names, and it helped me to understand and recognize names maybe I hadn't thought to consider before, and find my ancestors in the documents that way. Okay, guys, that's what a wildcard search is. I would absolutely encourage you to try them out and just play around with them. Sometimes it helps to play around with it, maybe on an ancestor you've already know about, you've already done the research with, just to kind of see what it feels like and what kind of results you get, and then go for it, guys. Try using the question mark, try using the asterisk, try using more than one, and see how that goes. It does take a little bit of patience. You're going to have to kind of filter some things out there, but absolutely give it a try, and let me know how it goes. I would love to know how it goes. Feel free to come back and leave us a comment. So if you have any questions, if you'll go ahead and drop it into the comments right now, because we're going to finish up soon here, and I want to make sure I get those answered. I will be coming back. I will monitor the comment sections and the questions. So if you don't get to ask now, or if you're watching this on a replay, absolutely go ahead, include your questions there, because I do monitor those comments and questions later, and come back in and answer them for you. If you want to see this kind of written up or see this written, you can check the latest post that's on the website about using the wildcard search. It shows up on the front page right now, but I will put the link into the comment section for you guys. In fact, I can grab that right now for you guys. And I'm going to drop that in the comment section for you guys. And that way you will have it. And I'd love for you to hop over there and see that. And again, you can let me know what you find. Let's see, did it come in? It may take it a minute. Hopefully, if that didn't come up, I'll pop it back in. There it is. Rhonda's asking if I can do 2 last names as in Spanish naming system. You know what? Rhonda, I haven't tried it before, but I don't see why not. Can you give me a name and then let's plug one in and see what happens on that? I'll be happy to try it. Oh, you're welcome, Faye. Thank you. Yeah, Rhonda, just we'll try the double and see what happens. But that's a good question. I haven't tried that before to see how that would work. Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't do it on anything, quite frankly, because you can actually do this on locations too, guys. If you're not sure of a location, you can substitute it on the locations as well. So yeah, I'd say give it a try, but I absolutely think it would work to do that type thing. All right. Any other questions, guys, that you guys might have that I can help you with? Okay, great. I'm going to pop that. Thanks, Ron. I'm going to share my screen again and we will pop it in there. Raymond. And that's a double last, so the double last name. Okay, Raymond. Oh, hang on. Let me show you my. Let's see here. Let's get back up here. Here we go. Remote. Whoops. Oh, rats. What was that name? RUCAS. Okay. Let's see. Let's just try. And okay, I'm going to go with that. Since I don't have a location or any other information on that, we'll see. Probably, I don't have enough information on that one, but absolutely, I think you can do this, guys. Yeah, because when you look at this one, it's showing us there's a double. It's giving us kind of a double hyphenated name on some of these. Interesting. It's pulling up the German and not the Spanish naming system. But yes, I think you can absolutely go ahead and do that, Rhonda. I don't think that would be a problem. Again, because you're simply telling this whichever search engine you use, I don't know this part of the name or I don't know this part of the name. So you could try the Ramon and then put for, I know I'm not saying this right, guys. Is it Rucus? But maybe you put RU asterisk and that might give you the variations on that second name if you're not as sure of the second name. So yeah, give it a try. I'd love to see and let us know how it works for you, Rhonda. And feel free to come back and let us know. I'd be glad to try that. But that's an excellent question for that as well. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Feel free to hop over to the website. I would love for you to read the full article there. Feel free to I'd love for you to share this Facebook Live with your friends, any other genealogy friends out there. Feel free to share it, and it will be available for replay very shortly, both here on Facebook and then also on the YouTube channel. All right, guys, have a great day, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Bye-bye.